And one thing I wanted to mention here is kind of like I'm one putting you guys on the spot a little bit, but two, we mentioned last week trying to come up with some new ideas like to get in here with the podcast, and one that we brought up was like a either a voicemail or parents sending an email to somebody and basically ask a question that we then answer live on the podcast, which I think would be cool. I hope we can find a way to make that work, I guess. But to the listeners, like, if let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. If so, just send us an email, send us a question, and we'll try and answer it. But I did receive a question from a parent a couple weeks back that I wanted to bring up on here, so I'm curious what you guys think. From a D1 coach's perspective, should an athlete post that they received an offer on Twitter?
I think it depends how you do it, but yeah, I mean, it puts pressure on other schools. It can be, used as an asset if done the right way. But yeah, I mean, it can help definitely add some pressure. If a school's treading lightly on you, can make them pick up their feet a little bit and have to, move on you.
I'm of the opinion for baseball not to do that. I don't know. To me, it's tough. I just don't think I would have ever been that way, and maybe that's just a personal thing. I think football makes a ton of sense. For baseball, I don't know. I feel like it's just a different sport, and I feel like there's a ton of dynamics there. And to me, again, this is me personally, I just think it's a little look at me. But I also think, Hammett, the way you're bringing it up is a very valid point as well. So
it totally depends how you do it. If you are like, look at me, I think if you're respectful about it and, not making it a big show, then I think it's okay. But no, I totally see what you mean.
And did the question specify like what type of offer, Gav?
They did not. It just says it was just from a D1 coach's perspective, should an athlete post that they received an offer?
Division One. Okay. I wanted to make sure it was the D1. I think is a little different. As somebody who played D3, I don't know that if you're a guy, you need to post that you're getting offers from Division threes or anything like that. And that's not a shot at Division three baseball. Okay, I played it. I think you set yourself up potentially on social media, which is not always a fun place to kind of get crapped on. So that's just my opinion there.
I think 5 to 8 years ago, it would have definitely been kind of frowned upon. I think you only really saw that in football, and when guys did it in baseball, it was not the greatest look. And it's really just because that school that's on you, that's offered you, and maybe has you, has seen you or, done their due diligence and brought you on campus and given you an offer. They don't really want you shouting that to the world. Now times have changed. It's more and more of a dog eat dog world out there. You see guys changing commitments late, all this stuff. So I do think there's more gray area on that now. What I have always appreciated, instead of saying, "Oh, I'm blessed to have received my second D1 offer," is like just put a picture out of you, on on the visit. It at least tells people like, hey, I went on a visit to this school. Maybe they offered you, maybe they didn't. And I think you guys were all kind of hitting on that. Like, it's kind of how you do it. But I think putting out a picture in front of a cool, monument or statue or baseball stadium or at the football field and just say, had a great visit with such and such today. I feel like that's more of the way to go about it in today's day and age. And then there's other people where they just want to keep their business to themselves, and hey, more power to you. Like, if you're good enough to be, getting an offer at one D1 school, like, you're probably good enough to be getting an offer at a couple. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with it.
That's a good point. All you guys, I'm kind of personally, I think for myself, I wouldn't have done it probably. And I'm kind of in the same boat as Tyler. I was not getting those, high level offers like that at the Division I level. I was, a JUCO Division III type of guy. So I wouldn't have been doing that personally. I guess I am curious though, like, why is that more common in football than other sports? I actually have seen it a little bit in basketball. Is there a reason behind football players doing that? Do you guys know?
For Division I, I mean, scholarships are so different now. That might be the same in baseball anymore, but like I know in football it was a big deal because in football it's full ride scholarship. Baseball, I know scholarship limits have changed, and Drew, I would love for you to hop in here because you probably know way more about the scholarship rules now in baseball than I do. But to me, that would be my guess as to why it probably started with like a football or a basketball, because to my knowledge, those are all full rides. So, in baseball, when we played, like full rides weren't really a thing. And maybe that's why it's a little different. Like in football, you don't have to worry about your paying for school, really. And for us baseball players, it was obviously a lot different. But I know there's been some rule changes. Drew, I don't know if it's any different now, but I want to say there's full rides in baseball now, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, the rules are ever changing. It's crazy. It's one rule 1 week has already changed the next week. There are more opportunities to get full rides in baseball now than ever. I don't know why football had always done it. To me, like my head goes to, they used to flip commitments left and right. They would commit to a school, but it didn't even mean you were committed. And like schools would be actively recruiting kids that were committed. Like, Alabama would flip a kid that was committed to Minnesota. Who knows? So I don't know why football's just always been like that ever since I've been even coaching. So I can't speak on why it started, why they did it, why baseball, hadn't, but very different as far as like scholarships and just, I mean, the amount of money that goes into a football program and those scholarships will always outweigh a baseball program.
Well, and I think the money, with football, like, we all love baseball, right? Hopefully college baseball continues to grow because it's definitely been growing the last decade. But college football is what funds a lot of these schools. That's at the Division I level, D2, D3 for sure. Like, it's crazy, but, I think sometimes maybe it started with just like clout chasing. Like, I don't know. You get a ton of love if, you're a football player at, Riverside Brookfield, and hey, I got an offer from Bama today. Like that means something on social media. So I'm sure that's probably just where it all started.
Well,
cool. Yeah.
I think that it is a lot of times clout chasing, and one of the things that I think is really important that I tell kids is don't go somewhere just for an Instagram post. Like, we're going to turn this into a recruiting, talk now. Like, don't go somewhere just for the Instagram post. I love that quote. Like, do your homework. Go visit different schools, see what you like. Like, do not let the Roman numeral dictate where you go, make or break. Like, you have to go here because it's this versus somewhere else that might be a great fit for you. So just keep that in mind.